Yadum Ure Yavarim Kelir. 2624 years ago, Kaniyan Pungundranath declared, who is coming from a village called Sivaganga. The meaning is, the whole world is village. Yadum Ure. Yavarum Kelir. Everybody who lives in the village is relative of all of us. So, it's our relatives who are here and who have joined through the link, web link. We welcome to Unlimit India, where you watch. We set golden standards, not golden standards, but Everest standards in electrification. In the next 2 hours, 10 minutes or so, you are going to say how we replace the golden standards to Everest standards. And from here onwards, the world is going to talk about not golden standards, Everest standards of the 2 Indian icons, the 6E and the 9E. To give, you are in the birthplace of innovation, you are in MRV, the heart center of Mahindra's automotive sector and farm equipment sector, where the products are engineered and delivered to customers, meeting their expectations. We have about 4,200 engineers working for automotive product development in this center. We have about 250 engineers working only in software in Coimbatore. We call it as MSDVC. We have a center in Bangalore who work in software. We have a couple of people, hundreds of people working in Chakan, liaising with production centers. Somewhere in September 21, after launching XEV.9e, we were told you are limiting yourself to ICE vehicles. And then we had a dream to unlimit not only Mahindra, but the whole India. And when we said next 3 years, we not only launch one vehicle, but we launch twins. In this land of Tamil Nadu, this symbol has an undefeatable representation. Some of you know the meaning of this, victorious. As we go over 2 hours, 15 minutes of this session, you will hear what we set out to define the Everest standards for electrification. Over 2,200 engineers worked tirelessly for about 3 years, starting with Pradap San, designing the first model, 4 model that we saw in Kandivilli in September 2021. We were completely blown away. We are told, we wanted to productionize that. And the product planning team came up and said, all the list of features available in the world, we want to have it in this car. So such a beautiful car, 6E and 9E. We put all of them together, and then we gave it to the engineering team, and the 2,200 engineering strong force sitting here executed them for over 3 years and handed over to the production team sitting in Chakan. In the meanwhile, the SSU team highly collaborated to develop over 5,000 tools and 9,000 tools and fixtures to productionize these 2 vehicles, and we are ready for, very ready with the production. The SSU team brought many suppliers, over 168 suppliers and 110 software suppliers to this. Never ever we have done such a scale of operations. The production team has set up a complete brand new body shop and a TCF to productionize these vehicles. It's absolutely mind-blowing to see those operations. And then to set everything rest is the marketing and sales and operations team today, what you are going to see. It's a time to thank each and every one of these teams and welcome all of you to witness in the next 2.5 hours the unfolding of Unlimit India, the 2 icons of India, and the leader who set the vision for us to take this forward, Mr. Anish Shah. I invite you to come to the stage, please.
Good evening. Welcome to a historic moment for India. We are here today to electrify India and to celebrate the theme of Unlimit India. This is a theme that embodies the unbounded potential that India has across economics, culture, sustainability, and technology. It is about celebrating where India stands in the world today and the kind of products that we make that enable all of us to hold our heads high. Over the centuries, India has been a leader, and it is our time now to lead again. Over the next 5 years, India will add as much GDP to the world as will the European Union. Think about this for a moment. Not just Germany, not just France, but as much GDP as the European Union combined. And we will be the third largest economy in the world. As we think about culture, India has had a rich tradition where people have come to India for its art, for its philosophy, to be able to experience what India has to offer. From the temples of Tamil Nadu to the sculpture created by the Mughals in North India, this has always been a place that has inspired people. And as we go around the world, we do see the inspiration from Bollywood movies and Indian cuisine as well. Over the last few years, India has taken the lead to build a sustainable planet. While the rest of the world has made commitments and sometimes waffled on those commitments, India stands firm. And India leads the way in ensuring that we leave behind a planet for our children that they will look back and thank us for. And finally, on technology, the innovation that we've seen in India over the years has only grown with time to a point where we are creating very high quality products. Take the auto sector as an example. 25 years ago, all the major players of the world started entering India. And we had to compete with them. Today we can stand tall to say that we make products that are the best in the world from a quality standpoint. And you as our customers give us that validation. From the market share we have today, to the long wait times we have today because you just come in and ask for more and more and more of Mahindra products. And that's what India has to offer. Unlimit India. That is our theme because that's what we are following. As Mahindra, we are unbounded. We are dreaming big. We want to create products that you will look at and say, wow, I do not expect this of any company in the world. Wow, you delivered something that's outstanding. That's what we've done, and that's what we will show you today. Because for us, That is our dream. The ability to be bold, to be agile, and work together across our teams to deliver something that you will look at and be astounded by. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anish, for setting that context, a higher order context of what Unlimit India is about. The history of India, the origin of how India has played such an important role on the world stage. And in a sense, today, it is a historic moment. Because here is an Indian automobile multinational that's ready to take on the world. Step on the world stage and create world-beating products. Create electric origin SUVs which will put us on the, will put India on the map. And history has shown that whenever passion has met purpose, the extraordinary has always happened. When Michelangelo fell in love with the brush, the world of art changed. When Newton fell in love with science, the world of science changed. When Edison fell in love with light, the world lit up. And when a single man's passion for technology played out, it left the world abuzz, even when the phone buzzes on a silent mode in our phone, in our pockets. So this passion, this love is boundless. And when that happens, it doesn't just shape lives, it shapes the world. It inspires us to break all boundaries. And today, we ask you to witness that Unlimit India, Unlimit love. We want you to witness the stunning looks, the incredible feel that redefines what is possible. So welcome to Unlimit India, India's first electric origin SUVs made with love from Mahindra. So as we get into the flow of our communication today, let me begin with the first section, which is about an insight that drove us to create a central brand idea and an identity of who we are and what do we stand for. So the insight goes around a very, very deep-rooted, powerful emotion, which is love. It's eternal, it's timeless, it's the basis of all creation. It inspires our deepest choices, and it truly defines who we are. And I'm sure you all will agree that as we go through this journey of uncovering the layers of love, it begins with a spark, but it grows much, much richer with time. And it has no boundaries, and it has no limits. So the insight is about timeless emotion, timeless choices, and a deep-rooted emotion of love, which is eternal. So with that as a central idea of unlimited love, let me share with you what's the central brand idea. Unlimited love inspires us to live a life without any limits. Our customers seek experiences that unlimit their lives. It makes them feel alive. Unlimits their potential in every way. And this begins maybe with love at first sight, but it becomes richer with time. And so the insight is about experience unlimited love through our products, which are crafted for unmissable presence, unparalleled technology, and unrivaled performance. And this, in a sense, is who we are. We stand for Unlimit. That's what we stand for, the brand identity. It's about Unlimit. It identifies, or it's an identity which symbolizes infinite possibilities, and that's what we are. It combines the symbol, the infinite symbol with the letter M. They come together. It embodies circularity and a continuous flow of energy. And that's what actually life stands for. It's about constantly seeking change, constantly seeking the new and diverse experiences. And it actually represents our DNA of constant growth and evolution, because that's what Mahindra is about. Can we please have the logo reveal? Should I call you? I'll call you. Infinite limits, infinite possibilities, Unlimit India. Let me call Pratap to take us through the hardcore design story.
Thank you, Vijay. Good evening, everyone, here in Chennai at MRV, and of course, joining us around the world. You have heard this term before, hardcore design. Let me just tell you the genesis of it. When we started this project 3 years ago, Rajesh Jejurikar gave me a one-line brief. It was a very brief. And the one-line brief was, just make sure you design a set of electric origin SUVs that our customers will fall in love with. Because that's what Mahindra products and design is about. People fall in love with our products. They're emotionally connected. So I said, okay. I came to Velu-san. I said, Velu-san, can I have the package? What does this look like? So he said, there's no package. It's a blank sheet of paper. So for the first time in my career, I actually saw a blank sheet of paper. Now, when you talk about hardcore design and falling in love, we've broken down hardcore design into 5 very, very simple stages. The first stage is what we call seduction. This is the exterior design. This is everything that eyes see when they see our product. You're almost tempted to touch that beautiful sculpted surface. This is what falling in love at first sight means. And exterior design and this seductive exterior design is very, very important to that. Today, for the first time actually, we're going to show you two products from two different brands within our portfolio. And how are they similar? They're similar because we use the same 5 stages of design. And they're different because each one of them has a nuance which is different from the other. The second stage is interior design. We call this intimacy. When you sit in a vehicle, when you sit in our car, what are you surrounded by? Do you have place for your phone? Do you have a spot for your cup of coffee in the morning? It's these small things. Have we taken care of that? And that's what we call intimacy. The third stage is our digital design process, and we call this commitment. That means beauty is much more than skin deep. So if you peel away that exterior, does the car live up to that promise that you see? Can you fit your stuff, your people, your family into those products? And we call that commitment. The fourth stage are the many shades of love. This is our colors, materials, finish designers really putting their signature on everything that's on the interior. Is there a problem with the mic? And this is an important stage as well in those 5 stages. So we take real care in making sure that everything you touch and feel in our products is beautiful, is appealing, is pleasing to the eye and the touch. And the last stage, which I think is, the last stage is what I call undying love. Through design and through our products, we create a relationship with our customers. Once they buy our electric origin SUV, they will stay with us forever. The way we take care of them, the way the product lives up to everything it promises, the way it fits their lives, and the way it enables everything that they want to do. So these are those 5 stages of love. And how have we brought this out through our hardcore design philosophy in the 2 products that you'll see today? Let me ask Vijay to come back and take you through the B brand.
Thanks, Pratap. Thank you so much for...
Thank you.
Thank you for...
Clicker.
Clicker is a...
Be careful of the clicker.
Sound check? Thank you. Pratap, thanks for giving that dimension. I spoke about love which starts with a spark but grows richer with time, and Pratap gave it those 5 dimensions of how it grows over time. Velu spoke about us launching 2 brands today, 2 products today.
Yeah.
So let's first begin by talking about B. I just want to clarify again, it's spelled BE, but the brand is pronounced B. And when we talk about a brand personality, we are talking about the personality of the brand and not the customer. So what does B stand for? First, it stands for authenticity. It's about allowing you to be who you are, to express whoever you are and whatever you want to be. It's about bold. It's about challenging the norms. It's about being audacious. It's about unconventionality, unconventional styling, irresistible presence, and above all, it's about self-reliance. It's about trusting your own instincts and forging your own path. That's what brand B is about. Be bold, be fierce, be limitless, and just be. Can we present the BE logo?
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're going to see a lot of musical chairs today between Pratap and me because the whole insight to a brand idea, to what the brand is, the communication strategy and design are so closely linked that we're going to play a little bit of musical chairs. So Pratap, back to you to talk about the BE design story.
Thank you, Vijay. So I just said under the hardcore design philosophy, we are launching 2 products this time, and BE has its own unique design. And let me break this down very simply into how we design the products, right? So, you are going to have to bear with me for a couple of minutes before you see this beauty. So the first thing is a fly-through of some of the features of the BE.6e. Thank you. So the first thing about the BE.6e is a proportion. You've not seen anything like this before. I can guarantee you this. Anywhere in the world, this slightly short hood, slightly front cab forward sort of cabin, sitting on these massive 20-inch wheels, very, very aggressive approach and departure angles. And of course the proportions, the shoulders. When you see the 6e on the road, there's no mistaking what it is. Then we go a step closer and we go into the exquisite surfacing of the BE.6e. It's like a fabric stretched on a frame. It's tense, it's taut, it's ready for action. And again here, the most sophisticated surfacing you would have seen in any automobile, let alone an electric origin. And the way it all comes together to create that real visual delight. The surfacing of the BE.6e, when you see it in a few minutes from now, you will notice is like no other. And finally, on the exterior are our details. These are things you notice as you live with the car. as you live with the vehicle, right from its glowing lit logo to the floating front spoiler to the hidden till lit daylight running lamps, these beautiful aerodynamic 20-inch wheels, and of course the fluting round the car under this gloss black, piano black cladding, which really hints of its electric origin. Again, the details around the back, everywhere in the car, is something you'll get delight from for many, many, many years to come. The interior, like I said, interior is the place you stay in love with your vehicle. It's driver focused, of course, inspired from our race heritage. There are details which are inspired from, fighter jets. So for example, like a thruster, and you'll see what these are. So that intense driver focus on the BE.6e makes it entirely yours. Again, console, the overhead console, directly inspired from the aircraft and the fighter plane industry. But of course, we will carry friends and family in the same vehicle. Now from the exterior, the real aggressive roofline that you see, the belt line that you see, makes you feel like, does anyone actually fit in the back of this car? But when you sit inside, you'll really realize the magic of the packaging of the BE.6e. Again, race-inspired details that you don't see in vehicles of this category at all. Lots of headroom, lots of knee room, amazing shoulder room. Velu-san will talk to you about it. And again, phenomenally beautiful details. So, like Vijay said, I'm going to bring Vijay back on. Vijay?
I'm just thinking maybe we should both stand here. So we now will get to the reveal sequence of the product, but no story is complete without a love story. And what I'm going to share with you before we bring the product out for you, the BE.6e, is the story. It's a story between two very powerful characters. Gaurav, just give me a hand mic. I think that may be better. Yeah? Okay. One is a successful director, the other an entrepreneur. One is as much fury as he is power. One is as much edge as he is class. As much BE.6e as XEV.9e. And they both love their electric origin SUVs. It's not just love at first sight for them. It grows over time. It becomes an expression of who they are. So here's a film which is filled with the thrill of driving, pulsating with racing heartbeats. It's a love story that will make your hearts go boom, boom. Can we have the commercial, please?
Unlimit Love, BE.6e, Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs. Unlimit Love. B6e. Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs.
So, Ria, I'm sure you know that that soundtrack was sung by Suniti Chauhan for you.
Oh,
Yeah, that was Suniti Chauhan, our very own Suniti Chauhan.
I'm a big fan and
Pride of India.
yes, yes. Thank you so much. It's a
Change the mic.
thank you. It's a pleasure. Hi. Oh wow, I'm loud. It's a pleasure to be on stage with all of you. Thank you
Pleasure is
so
absolutely
much.
ours. So, Ria, tell us, what was the first impression you had when you saw the B6e?
It was stunning, sexy. Actually felt like I'm a Batwoman right
Oh,
there, sitting
amazing.
in that car. And when I drove it, it was smooth, effortless, and but powerful. I felt empowered.
Lovely. We'd love to see you drive this product when we bring it out on the streets.
I'm looking forward. I already told my father.
Excellent. Thank you. Can we
Thank you so
the photo op with you, please? Anish, would you want to go balance it out? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Can we have the vehicles off the stage, please? Okay, let's move to launch 2. Let me talk a little bit about the brand personality of the second brand, XEV. Now, this brand is very different from B. XEV as a brand is suave. It's all about effortless confidence. It's about exuding effortless confidence. It commands respect and attention with a very poised presence. It's a brand that's innovative, which seamlessly blends technology with elegance. It's about premium and sophistication. It's about every detail which is crafted to pamper and delight the senses. So can we please present the XEV logo?
Wow. Wow, Vijay, that's amazing. Like you saw, the B6e is so much like Ria, bold, strong, willing to take on challenges. When we were designing the XEV.9e, it was a completely different brief for a completely different customer profile. So if you see this story, it's about power, about poise, about control, about sophistication. It's about refinement of those smallest details that Vijay spoke about, the XEV brand. And again, we'll show you a flight through of the XEV.9e. So again, here you see, the challenge and the great thing for a design team actually, even though the XEV.9e is built on the same electric origin Inglo architecture, we've managed to give it a completely different personality. It all starts with proportion. So if you look at the strong, powerful hood length that then sweeps into the front windshield, all the way onto the roof and then into the back of the car in one single unbroken line. It's truly beautiful. Again, our SUV heritage in the large wheels, the amazing ground clearance that Velu-san will take you through, and the approach and departure angles. And finally, for that unmissable on-road presence, the shoulders. That for us really defines the XEV.9e. Again, if I talk about now the surfacing, you saw in the 6e that it's quite sort of geometric, very different, very bold. Here, it's about sophistication, it's about refinement. Every surface touched by hand by our global design teams to really make sure the way the light and shadow dances off the surfaces makes the XEV.9e a truly beautiful, beautiful vehicle that you fall in love with again on first sight. And finally, for the exterior, a lovely new glowing Unlimit logo. These details on the grille, of course it's not a grille for cooling the radiator, but it still signifies the face of the car. The jewel-like headlamps, again worked with so much love. The detail around the lower part of the car, which again hints at our Inglo electric origin architecture, makes the XEV.9e a real pleasure for the eyes. And finally, of course, it caps off with that end-to-end tail lamp. The interiors Vijay just mentioned is all about luxury. It's all about technology. It's all about materials, finishes. We've chosen the highest grade of these materials to create a space in the automotive world which is unrivaled and unmatched. The seating, the leg room, the headroom, the beautiful Mars roof or the glass roof makes the interior of the XEV a stunning place to be. I mean, you wouldn't want to actually step out, but that you have to do when you reach your destination, of course. So without further ado, I think we can show you. Vijay, would you like to come back or should I just say it?
I just wanted to very quickly say that they saw the first part of the love story.
Yeah.
There is the of the next protagonist with the love story with the XEV.9e. But I just also want you to keep in mind that you've seen one love story, you will see the second one now, and then we'll reveal the product for you. But then there is some continuity for which you watch the space in the future. Let's play the films.
Cool.
तुझको जो मैं हो जाऊं पागल पागल तू चले जहां जहां पर दिल मेरा झुके वहां पर मुझसे ही मुझे चुराने
Unlimit Love XEV.9e Mahindra Electric Origin SUV.
my My heart goes boom.
XEV.9e Mahindra Electric Origin SUV.
चले जहां जहां पर दिल मेरा झुके वहां पर मुझसे ही मुझे चुराने वाले बूम बूम मेरे सीने की धड़कन को सुन मेरी सांसों को तेरी ही धुन बूम बूम मेरे सीने की धड़कन को सुन मेरी सांसों को तेरी ही धुन दिल बोले बूम बूम दिल बोले बूम बूम मैं हो जाऊं पागल पागल तू चले जहां जहां पर दिल मेरा झुके वहां पर मुझसे ही मुझे चुराने
Hey Rahul, welcome. Welcome Rahul. Mic for you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to have you with us here.
Pleasure is all mine.
So Rahul, a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about what surprised you the most when you drove the XEV.9e.
The instant torque. It's you put your foot on the pedal and it's like the car can read your mind. You know, there's no hesitation, there's no delay. It's just pure, effortless power. And I would also say that the 9E is really more than a car. It's an experience, right? It's luxurious, but it's unpretentious. It's powerful, but it's very serene. This feels like a car that understands not just the road, but it understands you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank
My
you.
pleasure, yeah.
And what was the momentous occasion for you on the sets of the shoot? Tell us a little bit about the inside story.
The shoot was great fun. We had an amazing time. But the director and the photographer, they wanted a very brooding, intense look. But every time I was in the car, it was so exciting that I couldn't stop grinning. So I think that was a source of great frustration as well as amusement for the whole team.
Yeah, we could see that on your smile, and we can see that right now too. So thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure.
Maybe take a photo opportunity with you.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Please. Let's do to the red car. Your car, correct. Wherever you're comfortable. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. Please do join us, please. Can you have the vehicles of the stage, please?
And Velu, over to you. Can you get the mic? Yeah. Wow. I told you, the twins. The slides are. We talked about electric origin. And here is something that very interesting to see. The classical mechanic is settled in 1687, and therefore we had aeroplanes and cars and flying everywhere. But it took about roughly 200 years more.
This one is your current slide, so just keep a watch on that.
Yes.
The slide is behind.
So these electric origin vehicles that we have designed is really based on electric origin principles, which we will explain to you. But before that, I would like to set a context. The context is that we are comparing with the luxury brands of roughly about 50 to 70 lakhs. If you were to buy it in UK, RST, ex-showroom, VAT included. And we are not comparing two, but we are comparing four for two. And let's see whether these two wins the four. That's a game for next 40 minutes. To take the game forward, we have an Inglo platform derived out of electric origin. And I will explain what this electric origin is all about. It's about 1687 when Isaac Newton released his classical mechanics. He settled everything for classical mechanics. And you had automobiles, and you had aeroplanes, you had ships and everything. But it took about James Clerk Maxwell, who came in 1885 and settled the theory for electromagnetism. It took some time because you don't see the electricity. So therefore, to take the origin of electric is very difficult, and that's why you see certain delay in electric vehicles into the market. But nevertheless, we follow three principles from the shoulders of these giants that you see in the picture. Number one, Voltaire told us, never ever reduce a single cell. Add as much as possible more cells into your vehicle so you can have more range. That's about energy or the battery capacity. You have to use available every millimeter of the space to use it to pack it with the cell, not with anything else. That's a rule number one. Efficiency. We talk about electric vehicles, but at the full charge, if it is 400 volt, is it 400 volt at 50% of the charge? Is it 400 volt at 25% of the charge? That's a question. Because what determines the efficiency in electric vehicle is the voltage. Number one thing is the voltage. We maintain in our electric origin vehicles constant voltage levels across the SOCs of the battery pack. That's number two. Safety. Whether it is water, whether it is fire, you put the battery on the fire, you put the battery on the water, you drop the battery from 10 meters, you take a truck and run the battery over it. It has to be safe because we don't want such a high power electric system to do anything else other than powering the vehicle. That's the most important thing. In our electric origin, that's what you are going to see today and tomorrow. That's the beauty that Inglo, that's in front of you. When we put a flat 100% used flat floor, you get 79 kilowatt hour and a safe battery pack with LFP cells. You would immediately notice it. The electric motor is in the rear and there is nothing in the front. We used it for the frunk. In the subsequent slides, you will see what benefits it gives. But one thing you will notice it, in the event of a frontal crash, there's nothing except the frunk to go and crash with the battery pack. The motor is in the rear. That's rule number 4 in electric origin vehicles. iLink is the suspension system that we brought it. It's a patented technology from MRV. Likewise, you have a 5-link in the rear. That is again a patented technology. So you have a front iLink and you have a rear 5-link. That sets the ride forever and setting the standards in ride and handling. The platform allows you to do magical. Inglo is all about magical also. You have seen 2 different vehicles. One vehicle is, Pradap created it, I already told you, 4789 millimeters, it's very easy to remember. And another vehicle is 4371. It's a smaller one of the spectrum and a bigger one of the spectrum. And you see beautifully what Pradap did is, only in the front and the rear he has changed the stuff. And over the roof silhouette he has aligned it. But there is nothing, no change in the Inglo platform at all. So both 6E and 9E comes from same Inglo platform. This is the Berendal platform. This platform brings the core Mahindra DNA. When it comes to battery electric vehicles, you do not only care for the safety of the passengers, but you do care for equally for the battery pack. That's the most important thing. What you need to give is the absolute ground clearance for the battery in the middle of the battery. By giving a ground clearance closer to the tire, it doesn't make any difference because the tire anyway goes over the obstacle. But you need to give in the middle of the battery pack. You will see, compared to the luxury 4 brands, where we stand, whether it's XEV.9e or the 6E, stand out of the world. Sets the new Everest standards for this battery ground clearance. The second is the customer has to see the road in India. So we say it is a hatch point, the driver hatch point, and also it's applicable for the co-driver. You see the dimensions and you yourself immediately we realize that both the 9E and 6E set new standards in hatch point for the driver visibility. Once we settled about the driver visibility, next we are in space. The front row driver space is the most important thing. As you see it here, the XEV E9 has 1617 liters and the 6E has 1522 liters. To its nearest comparison, luxury 4 is way ahead. Likewise, the luxury 1, 2, 3, you can compare, 1617 is way ahead for the 9E. I can compare the headroom and legroom. It's incidental, as you see, they are very similar numbers. But one thing I would like to point out about the shoulder room in India, it is so important. And you can see we set a new benchmark on the shoulder rooms for both 9E and 6E with 1522 millimeters in 9E and 1436 millimeters in 6E. Front space. I told you about the electric origin principles, that once we have moved the motor to the rear, we have beautifully carved out a space for whatever you want to keep it, about 150 liters of the frunk volume for 9E and 45 liters for 6E. In case of 6E, the length dimensions, the competition does not have a frunk, but of course 115 is by far the new benchmark in this industry. I am not comparing the boot volume. Of course, you will see the boot volume as the new benchmark. These measurements of the boot volume is according to the VD ISO standard, which means up to the seat height. If I were to measure to the roof height, you will have further volume. But if we set measuring up to the seat height itself, it sets a new benchmark. The rest, the customers will set the new benchmark for us. We talked about space. What about driving dynamics? Each vehicle have their own characteristics, but what are the four very important parameters for any customers to get to the car? Is the ease of driving the car, of course the ride comfort, the handling comfort, and the fun to drive, what we call as a performance. You take a 180 km per hour or a 200 km per hour and you take a turn in a high-speed test track, or in a curve, you take a turn, or a hill stations you drive. We commissioned IDIADA, an independent agency, and we got all these four luxury brands and we asked them to independently evaluate and get us the rating, and that's where you stand. 7.75 for both 9E and 6E, either equivalent to one of the luxury brand 2 or beating them luxury brand 4 and 1. It sets a new standard. This shows that if you derive the product from the single platform, how it benefits us to the products. So it is the benefit of Inglo platform that you see it here. Once we have certain elements settled for the vehicle dynamics, then you are looking for the ride quality. The ride quality is very simple. A lot of people define the ride quality very differently, and I have one simple measure for you. You define the acceleration in the forward direction when you press accelerator and brake it, but the road surface also is accelerating the vehicle up and down. And when it is up and down, it can be 0.3 G to 0.8 G. What you see here is the blue color. It's going up to 0.8 G on the last corner of the curve. It can go, such is the road construction that we have it. You can also have a quiet roads. But what you see is the red color is the vibration levels that a driver or a co-driver or the rear seat is experiencing. You can see it, it's very well isolated. The car is very well isolated. That's the beauty of the intelligence semi-active suspension system that comes in Inglo platform that goes in 9E and 6E. It has been tuned to multi-mode. So you have an suspension mode for all the drive modes of the vehicle, the powertrain modes of the vehicle. And it reacts in 15 milliseconds. So you measure the steering angle, you measure the acceleration, you measure the brake, and you measure the movement of the suspension. All of these inputs go to the controller. The controller reacts in 15 milliseconds. The moment you go over the speed breaker, by the time you move another 30 millimeter of the speed breaker, the damper is reacting. That's as quick as it. Tomorrow when you drive it, you will feel it. That's how we are able to bring in such a ride quality in spite of 0.8 G going over on the surfaces. The rating obviously you see there. Once you settle the ride, the next thing that you are looking for in the cars is how quiet is the cabin. And it took a lot of effort for us to get a quieter cabin in electric vehicles, because you know the tire noises are extremely high. The tire noise is the one that is penetrating into the cabin, as the electric motor is not making any more noise. It took us a lot of effort for us to get up to 120 to retain this above 90%, AI quality, that's the articulation index. I have many times mentioned about the articulation index, that if I speak, if my wife is able to hear exactly what I am speaking, that's 100%. If she loses me 10%, it's 90%. What we set the Everest standard here, Unlimit India, is 95%. It sets a new benchmark, and that curve comes as linearly as possible until 110, 115 kilometers per hour. As you ride this car, you will believe you need certain other elements in this car to hear the music, to love, to many things that we will set in. But right now you see it, it's absolutely a quiet car that you will ride on. As you drive the car, now you expect, okay, you have ride, you have NVH. What about the turning circle? Can I take this car into the city and then say, can I turn this car in the smallest possible turning circle radius with the smallest effort? Here we brought the technology called variable gear geometry into the steering system. You have heard about variable geometry turbochargers for the engines, but our engineers thought about, why don't you bring that into the steering system? Because after all, you are accelerating it and you are performing the vehicle. After all, you are turning the steering wheel, put the variable gear geometry there, and that's what we did. There you see the Inglo is just breaking the trade-off line. We are not anymore moving between this lock-to-lock steering angle versus the turning circle radiuses. We set new benchmark, and we get such a large vehicle, we get 10 meters turning circle radius with incredibly lowest steering effort. Brake. This is the most important thing. Before I go to acceleration, I want to tell you something about the brake. In an electric vehicle, it is just opposite of the ICE vehicle. In an ICE vehicle, you get the max torque at 1600 RPM. In an electrical vehicle, it's 10 RPM, you are at boom. That's what Rahul said and Ria said, right? At 2-3 RPM, you are at the max torque. You need a powerful brake. We throw away all the ICE engines braking system. We brought the new braking system. In the ICE vehicles, you have about 450 milliseconds to brake. And he said, we make it half, 200 milliseconds. It acts. And we used this braking system to the most advantage to deliver the customer to the range. This braking system is not braking by the brake system, but it allows the e-motor to brake and regenerate the energy. And the last bit, the braking motor will come into picture. Actually, the braking motor, the braking system is doing a very smart job. It's asking the electric motor to brake it because you accelerated it. And now the last moment when you have done your job, I will come and step in. And that's what these two guys are doing. And we needed a different system to interact with the motor. And that's how this powerful, intelligent braking system comes into picture. That's why we say it's an electric origin. Once we settled all these brake, steering, suspension, all of them, then we thought about the customers. Do we do something for them? We know about their health, the UV radiations. The UV radiations are split into three: UVA, UVB, and UVC. The UVA is a long wavelength, and it just penetrates the atmosphere. It doesn't listen to the ozone layer, and it comes and touches your skin, and you feel bad. And we said, no, we cannot allow that to customers. And we put a laminated glass. You usually have it for the windshield. And we put it for the glass, and we put it for the roof, and not UVA rays can penetrate into 6E and 9E. Stop it before. You cannot get into the cabin. And we filter it to 99.5%. It gives you a comfort, and additionally it gives you range, because in the next slide you will see I'm able to cool the vehicle so fast, 40 minutes faster than the other vehicles, because the UV rays are cut off by the windshield, the glasses, and the roof. Also, you have an excellent cooling system that is throwing about 535 meters per hour air. And we have measured it in the benchmark vehicles, and I really didn't believe it when I saw this from the best benchmark vehicles. There must be something wrong. Then I commissioned an agency, independent agency. I asked them, look, there's a 40 minutes difference. I took the vehicles to Rajasthan, I put these vehicles in the sun, and I'm seeing this. They told me one story. Look, those benchmarks are operating in a different terrain. They are not experiencing 40 degrees and 60 degrees. And therefore, their systems are not designed for handling these temperatures. You have designed it from the beginning because you have a lineage of handling minus 10 degrees to plus 60 degrees. And therefore, our systems guarantee you that it cools extremely fast from 40 degrees to 24 degrees about 40 minutes earlier than the competition. That's what you see it. We also have installed 2.5, the PM sensor 2.5 in the air induction system. When you suck the air, we care for you. We don't want the nanoparticles to go into your lungs. We have installed what is called as VR LED. The VR LED is looking for those particles, sending the VR rays, visible rays, and kill them. Whether it is odor, whether it is microbes, whether it is any other small microorganisms, we kill them and we make it purified, smart air purifier that we have installed in the air filter system. We have also installed activated carbon filter that again filters. So these two act in combination to give the best air quality. We also indicate in our dashboard the air quality indication using this PM sensor. You will see it. What is outside and what is inside, you will see it. Once we settle for all of this, the most important thing, closer to the heart of Mahindra's engineering, every vehicle that we launch, we say 5-star. And we don't compromise. Now we don't compromise for adults, we don't compromise for children. In both cases, we achieve 5-star rating. This vehicle is yet to be homologated, but we know from our internal results, we will achieve these results. I have explained multiple times about the ring structure and how the energy is taken, and you all know it, and you will educate me now. But one thing I would like to point out, that it has a ELR, emergency locking retractor. It's not a regulation, but we bring it for all the seats. We also bring it an airbag that gives the 7 airbags story. So once we settle all of this, then let's go into battery. Battery is one of the questions always asked by everybody. There are so many questions about battery. We will unveil and peel off all these questions and try to give the answers to you as best as possible. But to answer, we needed very important 4 innovations in this to be done. Cell-to-pack technology is the most important thing that allows me to put maximum number of cells in a given areas. You don't have an intermediate module, you just put the cell into the pack. That's called compact lean module. Together gives me the ability to get 79 kilowatt hour in LFP cells. In this space, it is not easy to get 79 kilowatt hour in LFB. It's only possible in NMC. But we did it, and that's why we call it as advanced LFB plate cells with cell-to-pack technology. We introduced a bottom transverse cooling that gives me to put this battery pack into Rajasthan and run forever, and nothing happens to the battery. And I don't derate the engine or the vehicle performance at all. We also take a nail and pierce through the battery and see what happens to the battery cell. And you will see it tomorrow, nothing happens to it. And you will also see it tomorrow, what happens to the competition. This is the 4 patents out of the 35 patents that's very close to my heart. Next is the range that you always would like to hear. The certified range is what? 1st April 2024 onwards, let me back up and say 31st March 2024, we are allowed to use phase 1 as per ARI. And ARI redeclared, said you have to use phase 1 and phase 2 of the vehicles being certified from 1st April 2024 onwards. And therefore, the certified numbers stand at 682 and 656 for 79 kilowatt hour vehicles. We also tested for WLTP for European comparison. That's the number 550 and 533 number that stands. Very close by bigger vehicle and smaller vehicle. But your question is, what happens in the real world? We took a 6 months journey to figure it out what's happening in the real world, and this is what we did. We traveled across north to south, east to west, and tested in each city for 2 weeks, roughly about 21 cities that you see, and our calibration engineers did the tweaking, learning from the peak traffic conditions. One thing that we learned is, it is not the number of kilometers that you drive, it is the number of hours that you drive the office to home or home to office. So this 500 kilometers range is on an average level. We have seen it in a 79 kilowatt hour battery pack, and it says that you charge only once in 7 days. Okay, Agul asked me, okay, you are saying once in a 7 days, but do I need to charge for 24 hours or 20 hours or how many hours? It is a 79 kilowatt hour. We said, Rahul, you don't require to take hours. You have to do it only in minutes. So he was standing and watching, and we are going to say tomorrow, in 20 minutes you can charge 79 kilowatt hour. This is the first time from 20% to 80%, you charge in 20 minutes. Full stop, no questions asked. You can see it, it's not magic. Somebody were to ask the questions, we put out how we charge it. The battery pack has 128 cells, and it has 200 ampere to be pumped in. And we pump at 2C. If I pump at 200 ampere, and it's called 1C. If I pump at 400 ampere, it's called 2C. I pump it at 400 ampere for 6 minutes and pump the battery. And you need a transverse cooling, you need an LFP back, you need an electric origin technology. And that's exactly is helping me here to get 20 minutes for 20% to 80%. And Rahul says, once in 7 days, 500 kilometers range, only 20 minutes I have to spend with my vehicle, that's it. On the way, we wanted to validate the charge points of 1600 different make. Also the charge events, 16,260 to validate how our vehicle interface with the charger. That's the most important thing. It's the most important thing for our customers. And we have validated and adopted our BMS and OCDC chargers. Next question comes. What happens to the high voltage safety? And what happens to water immersions? What happens to thermal, and what happens to immersions? An extensive test that has been done, and you might have already seen in the labs. So let me show one of the examples of how these tests bring robustness. Before that, I would like to add one point. We have tested the battery pack in the lab for 14,577 hours as we speak now. And that's charging, discharging, high voltage, all the stuffs that you see. And the second thing is, we fitted this battery pack and run 55 lakh kilometers within India. To put it in perspective, it's roughly about 5.5 million. But put it in perspective, the Earth circumference is 40,075 kilometers, Earth circumference and the equator. And you have to circum that Earth 137 times to reach 55 lakh kilometers. And there is a uniqueness of about 137, you can Google it. It's called nature's constant. When you reach 1 by 137, it says about, you learn about atoms and matters, and you learn about nature. Once we learn about the nature, we say we have something understanding of electric origin. So let me tell something further into this. In the side crash, if my vehicle goes and hits a pole, in the side crash, the regulation says, Velu, please meet 10 ton. I said, no, I want to meet 20 ton. 200 kilonewtons, and you crush the battery pack. Nothing should happen to the battery pack. No leak, no thermal fire, no thermal propagation. Nothing should happen. We have done it multiple times, this test. That gives you sight. People said, can I park the vehicle in water? 200 millimeters, 300 millimeters, 400 millimeters, 500 millimeters, forget. Put the battery in the water and see what happens. And you can ask me, do you put the empty better? No. Do you put 50% charged better? No. We put 100% charged battery and we put it into the water and keep it for 30 minutes. Water house electricity, all of you know. And if there is a small gap in the battery pack, the water can enter and contact the cell and short circuit it and explode. This is what happens with the water. That's why it's very sensitive with the water. We have completely sealed in our manufacturing facility, battery plant manufacturing facility, no water can enter. Water cannot see my cells, period, full stop. What you get next is vibrations. You saw 0.8 G loads that were coming in the tire, vertical vibrations. You have 128 cells, you have positive and negative terminals 2 times, and you are shouldering with the wires, and you are connecting them. In the vibrations, if this shouldering gives away, what happens? The vehicle does not drive, right? We have to test it. So we set up to 8 G, we are testing it in the lab that you have seen it. Also, in the event of a frontal crash or a side crash, you will experience anything between 30 G. And then we said if we take it to 50 G, and we gave a shock load of 50 G and see the reliability of the battery pack, survived absolutely. And then we said 900 degrees, put 6 liters of gasoline and put the flame and then bring the battery pack and hold it for at least 3 minutes. This is the video, the test we did multiple times. It has 128 cells. Each cell carries about 0.62 kilowatt hour energy, totaling to 79 kilowatt hour energy in it. It's a fully charged battery, and it is undergoing the thermal test. In villages, if you want to prove to the God that you love it, you just walk over the fire after having after you observe the fasting for 8 days. And this battery does it. You want me to prove me, and that's how it has come out after 3 hours. So fire, water, vibration. Don't worry, this is electric origin. So we did you may remember that I put the battery pack onto the water. But, well, what happens to the entire vehicle goes into the water. I wanted to have the relay be done directly, but because of the weather conditions, I'm not able to link. But so what we did, we recorded it. We started about 11 o'clock. We recorded it, and I'm asking for the video to be played. Can you play the video, please? And then the remaining you will see it tomorrow. The rest we will show it tomorrow. Then comes the life. Once you've proven the reliability, then comes the life. You look at the LF battery pack, after 2000 cycles of charging and discharging full load, I lose 10% of its capacity compared to the NMC, which goes down to 75. So we give lifetime warranty. We are not discussing about warranty, we give lifetime warranty. Then you ask me about performance. Okay, this is all about battery, but what do you do about the performance? We have 210 kilowatt, and that gives an absolute performance. What you see is 6.8 in 0 to 100. The white one is the ICE, and the struggles that you see is the gear change, whether it is automatic or manual. But in the electric, you see, like Rahul and Riya said, that it's very linear and very, very fast, and that's what you see it here. And we are not beating the worlds, but we are in the middle. 2 we are beating and 2 we are not beating. I guess that's okay with you. May I ask the team to put the Inglo video which summarizes all that what we said.
Welcome to Inglo, the Mahindra Electric Origin architecture. Inglo is a whole new mindset, the formidable backbone of our e-SUVs. Built on a flat, skateboard-style design, no central tunnel, just a wide open floor. A low center of gravity ensures incredible handling with intelligent suspension that adjusts faster than the blink of an eye. A battery delivering jaw-dropping efficiency and super fast charging. Uncompromising power, delivering more thrills per kilometer in silence. So you can provide the soundtrack. This is more than just an electric SUV architecture, all built and engineered to the world's highest safety standards. No matter the weather and road conditions, Inglo is ready to protect drivers and passengers. A platform built for unparalleled performance, safety and comfort. Designed with few moving parts, leaving plenty of room for people and luggage. Inglo adapts from the athletic BE.6e to the elegant XEV.9e. Unplugged, untamed, unmissable. Inglo. Unlimit India.
Trust Inglo, it unlimits India. Maya. What's Maya? It's inspired from our Sanskrit. It's magical, it's very powerful, and it does all the things in the cabin that we will explain as we go forward. Is our intelligence, Mahindra's AI architecture, intelligence architecture. As you know, we wanted to set new benchmarks in the field of the experience. Wow through SAW, the software on wheels. Basically, we need a drive assist technologies, the HD streaming multi-displays. We have more than 3 displays. We have close to 6 displays. Advanced neural engine, which you can anticipate you can watch your eyeballs, watch your face, and take actions. You need an engine for that. You need a connected car technology, and you needed an audio system, lighting system, and monitoring system. And you needed, above all, cyber security that nobody can breach into this vehicle. And this architecture completely involved a different way of doing things, what we called as software-defined vehicle. We bring in the hardware platform and its software, then we build the middleware separately, and then car operating system, and then we install the Mahindra stack, and then we install all the apps, applications. So we have close to more than 30 apps installed in the car that you will experience it, but the beauty of it, I can keep changing the app without affecting the platform software or the middleware or the car operating system. We have brought first time AutoSAR architecture that allows me to do this. Nowhere in Indian cars, this structure you will see it. Enabling me OTA or photo, what you call it as, any software in any of these applications, a patch or a single software, I can change. I don't require to completely upgrade the software. I can just do it only the patch. And that is what the whole software-defined architecture. It adds value to the vehicle as it ages because you keep adding softwares and applications to this. That needed a hardware architecture. Traditionally, you have a gateway, and in the gateway, you connect multiple ECUs. And then you connect the gateway to cloud. All the ECUs are talking to the cloud, and the gateway is talking to the cloud. But a complete change is needed in the architecture. We brought high-performance computing systems, cockpit, ADAS, and vehicle, and connected them in cloud and doing independent work. And all the other ECUs we have subordinated to them with a backbone of Ethernet system. The Ethernet system communicates at 1 gigabytes per second. 1 gigabytes per second. The CAN systems are 500 kbps. So it's way, way different, order of magnitude different. Okay, when you bring this system, what is the performance? You needed DMIPS. DMIPS is like A plus B is equal to C. That's what you do, standard generic calculations. That is DMIPS. But you needed a very flowing graphical representations in all the three screens in the front and in the rear two screens and the ARHD, all of them. You needed high-end graphical performance. We brought the GPU with 3100 gigaflops floating point operations per second. Not only that, you have videos, and the videos have to be processed. So we brought in video processing control unit into the vehicle, and these videos have to be displayed in several displays. So we have brought a display processing unit and its power. We brought 5G, we brought Bluetooth, and we brought Wi-Fi. This car provides Wi-Fi, and those are next generation technologies. As you see, top 51 and with 130 million lines codes, this Maya is one of the most powerful minds in automotive world. It sets a new benchmark in giving experience. I was asking my engineers, how can I compare? Can I compare with any of the existing vehicle? They said there are one vehicle in Germany and there are one vehicle in Germany in production and rest of them are in development. How do I communicate? They said, okay, the nearest one you can take. You cannot take your current ICE vehicles, but you can take the nearest one mobile phone. I was afraid to put this number, but you can see 110 to 120 G-flops and tops in every parameters. Whether it is in AI is the NPU, and the GPU is the graphical processing power, and the computational power, you are way above. The mobile is using one screen, but we use multiple screens. I think we shouldn't compare that. So let's go to individual systems. The individual systems that you see here, the Qualcomm is the cockpit controller, one of the three high-performance computing systems that we set, has the maximum power in our system. My colleagues, when they show it, they will show you TMIPS of 200K, unimaginable calculative performance and tops. It's processed with 5 nano, first time in the industry that's coming for automotive industry, 5 nano node. It comes from Snapdragon cockpit technology. We have a graphical processor which is called Adreno, and it's a 6th generation that we have installed. You will see the graphical performance of our cars is awesome with 120 frames per second. For watching a movie, you need 24 frames per second. This is operating at 120 frames per second. It's way above any industry standards. Wi-Fi, connectivity, Bluetooth, and we have AWS Cloud to augment its performance, voice engine. And then we wanted an ADAS system that works AI, The sixth generation Mobileye, we call it as an EQ6, is the most best performance system that is tuned to the Indian one, and of course, it detects cows. And we have an auto park unit, DI-TDA2, and we have a Qualcomm chip that is monitoring cabin and your eyeballs. That's the AI suite that is installed in our car. If you were to summarize the whole system performance in multiple ways, whether it is graphical visual performance or AI or this computing power, it sets new benchmarks for both 6E and 9E. To show and summarize what the Maya stands for, may I ask the AV to be played, please?
Hello, I am Maya, the Mahindra Artificial Intelligence Architecture, and I'm here to make your world a better place. I'm the fastest automotive mind in the world, performing over 51 trillion operations per second. My name is inspired by the Sanskrit word for magic, because that's what I'm engineered to deliver and make the unimaginable possible. I am the super brain at the heart of your new e-SUV, the neural system of our super advanced domain architecture. I shape your environment through AI. I am the beating heart. I learn, I adapt, I adjust, evolving to your needs, making every journey a thrilling experience. I detect, I react, I respond, connecting, communicating, and continually improving, faster and smarter than anything you can imagine or have experienced. I am the sensory moods, keeping you safe wherever we go. I am your alter ego, your constant guide, your thrill-seeking companion, igniting every journey with exhilaration. I am Maya, and I am magic on wheels. Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs.
After Maya, I said, we need the music system. The vehicle is so good that we needed the best music system in the world. We call it as Mahindra Sonic Studio. And we set 5 benchmarks. In the audio system that we have worked with Master A.R. Rahman for over 1 year. And then we realized that we need to set 5 industry benchmarks to achieve. And then we said the spectral balance is something you start with 20 Hz and you end with 20,000 Hz. And every spectrum, you have to be able to hear it very well. The spatial envelope, the 360-degree environment, you should be able to hear it, the music very well in every seat that you sit. We needed a software called Quantum Logic in order to play all your songs. And we needed a virtual Venuscape live that you can duplicate a Wembley Stadium or a Boston Symphony into your car. And none less than Dolby Atoms can do that. And I'm not the best expert. I have Greg, who is the head of automotive acoustic engineering of Gordon. May I invite Mr. Craig? And Xavier, who is the head of Dolby Atmos, business head of the Dolby Atmos. Both of them joined hands with us and developed this system. I hand it over to you to explain what exactly you did in the Harman Kardon.
Of course. Thank you, Valdesan, for this introduction. So, we always start with vision. When Mahindra approached us to design the system, it was not about a regular system. It really was about something where you can develop a true connection to the music. You can almost feel the sound. So we take that vision, we take that challenge, we combine it with the core values of the Harman Kardon brand, and work back from that vision into a technology. So how did we achieve this system? First, we need to have the right hardware. So we start with speakers. We have 16 high-performance speakers in the car. A three-way arrangement in the front, woofer, mid-range tweeter. This is for the tonal balance that you have mentioned. We need all of that to be really, to cover the whole spectrum. We have a center speaker to really embed the spatial image in the front of the car. Then we have rear speakers for the experience in the rear seats, surround and hide speakers for a truly immersive experience, and of course, a subwoofer to pump that bass into the cabin. All of these speakers are powered by a 1,400 watts amplifier.
Wow.
I mean, this is an insane amount of power, but power is control. And with this amplification, we can control every speaker to deliver the details, the dynamics, even for the most challenging tracks. So the amplifiers is the muscle, is the heart of the system. But also inside this box, we have a signal processor when we have all tuning parameters and we have our software. And this is where the magic happens. So in the Harman Kardon system, we have plenty of features, customization options, and so on. But I want to talk about the three main hero features. First, quantum logic immersion. So quantum logic immersion takes a regular stereo track, distributes it among all the speakers to create an equal experience on all seats and create a really immersive sound field. You can even control that immersion to suit your individual preference. Then we have Venuscapes Live. And this one is really cool. So you can really transport yourself into some of the most iconic venues in the world. Boston Symphony Hall, Royal Opera House in Mumbai, Wembley Stadium. And not only that, your own voice will echo in these, as if you were in these venues, thanks to the two built-in microphones in the vehicle ceiling. And then we have Dolby Atmos. And Dolby Atmos is, I mean, this is a next level audio. This is a true 3D experience. It's special encoded audio, native spatial audio, and you can really hear the sound as intended by the artists.
So as I understand, we put 16 speaker systems and 15 channels, and all the speakers are independently connected, and you can spend any music segment to each speakers and to create an immersive audio experience. Yes. And also you create this. I heard you brought engineers flown from Japan, Germany, and US, and you were personally sitting in the car 6E and 9E. I didn't ask you which one you prefer. But you have been sitting in the driver's seat, each of the seats, and you were tuning it personally, and you are doing a PhD in music system. What in these two cars you will say the best standing things compared to the benchmarks?
I would say that these systems allow you to fully immerse yourself in the music. Once you start experiencing the sound, you forget about all these speakers. You forget about the technology, the watts, voltage, and all of that.
It's immersive.
It's a true experience.
Yes.
I mean, I was inspired today about what I've seen on the stage, and I would say that this system allows you to unlimit love to the music.
Unlimit love to the music. And that takes it to Dolby Atmos. Here is the gentleman who supported us all the way from US. He really supported us to get the Dolby Atmos at the advice of A.R. Rahman. And we approached him and he said, okay, we will support you. Please tell us the story of how did you do the tuning and brought the best experience.
Well, definitely. I mean, picking on the theme of love, I love that this is the first car produced in India with Dolby Atmos technology. It's amazing. I mean, we heard a little bit about Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos is a technology that allows the mixer on the artist to create experiences in the studio that you will personally experience in the car. It gives you that feeling, that love, that unique detail and depth of experience that you only get with something like Dolby Atmos. Now, I was talking to a mixer just before the show, and you remember the old days when we had cassette tapes? You know, mixers used to finish their music in the studio, take the cassette and put it in the car. And that's how they did the final quality test. When it sounded right in the car, they knew the mix was ready. Now with Dolby Atmos, we had a unique studio with lots of speakers all over the place, a unique experience that was difficult to reproduce somewhere else. Now with an Atmos car, we can actually take that same studio experience, bring it to the car, and the mixer and the artist can do the final quality test in the car, just as if they were in the studio. That's really, really unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you said, the studio quality, it reminds me, how do you experience the studio quality? We were searching for a gentleman who can really assess our car of the studio quality, and we found a person who won 15 Grammy Awards in music scoring in the studio, and he is well known all over the world for his assessment of audio music quality. Mr. Richard King works in the McGill University, and may I request Mr. Richard King to come over, please. And he has been involved as an independent agency to assess our car. He has been spending time with Craig and Xavier and assess the car. And may I ask you to share what is your assessment and experience, and the final, when you drove in MSPT, your experience.
Oh, thank you very much, Miller-san. Thank you. You know, music plays a central role in my life. It always has, and when I'm driving, the music is always on in my car. Helps me focus. It helps me to spark creativity in my thinking, but also it helps me to wind down as well. My career as a sound recording engineer has taken me to all of the top recording studios in the world, and over this time I've really developed a critical ear for high quality sound. Our field is bridges between art and science, where on the art side we have human emotion and how we're affected by the music and the lyrics in a song. And on the science side, we think of acoustics, but also clarity, accuracy, and these days now, immersive audio. Javier is absolutely right. I would love to have a Dolby Atmos car in my driveway so I could run out and check my mixes while I'm working. This is really the future. So how do we do all this? Well, it's the tuning phase of the project, and I've been brought in to, I've been fortunate enough to be invited in to do these evaluations. So where do we start? We look at spectral balance. And what I was going to go the other slide first. We'll come to this in a minute. But spectral balance, we're really looking at where we talk about the bass, mid-range, and high frequencies of each instrument in the mix, but also the full music mix as it stands. Exactly. So here we are. This is exactly how we're thinking and listening while we're tuning the cars. Now, we're taking measurements as well, but a lot of this is reinforced and validated by ear, and this is where I come in. I'm not a scientist, but I'm deeply involved in music mixing, so it's my ears and my subjective impressions, along with these measurements, that give us the results we're looking for. Next, we look at spatial features, such as we check the quantum logic immersion system, we look at Dolby, make sure it's working properly, the Atmos, and also the venue-scapes live. In this case, I've had the fortunate opportunity to work in Boston Symphony Hall as part of my career, so I was able to bring my experiences in, and we were able to tune and get an even more realistic impression of this virtual space in the car. From there, we went to the track, and this was really a fantastic time for me. We were able to compare, sorry, I'm skipping one thing. As part of our tuning process, we took a lot of time comparing the Mahindra cars to benchmark models, other EVs that are currently available on the market. And we were carefully keeping track. And I have to say, with the Harman Kardon system in the Mahindra cars, with the work that we've done, we were able to match or even exceed a lot of the other luxury EVs that we were comparing to.
If you had to give a score out of 5, what will you give the score?
Sure, simple scale 1 to 5. Some of these cars, in my opinion, and we were being very critical, but they rated in the 3s and the 4s. but we found that the Mahindra car we took to a 4.5 out of 5, and there was only one other car that we also gave a 4.5 out of 5, and it had a much more expensive sound system. So we're really in great shape with this.
And few words about your experience in the test track.
Yes, so thank you. So in the test track, this was fantastic. I love music, I also love to drive. My first time on a track, very impressive. We drove upwards, I was going over the limit I was supposed to. I went to about 180 kilometers an hour. This was really thrilling. And I have to say, the sound system remained consistent and accurate and really powerful, even at high speeds. We also went from smooth to rough road surfaces, and the sound system immediately compensated. It was seamless and effortless. It was truly an incredible experience for me. Just one last thing I wanted to mention, though, being invited to this collaboration, it's been fantastic working with the Harman engineers, meticulous work that they do, but they're also very open to my input as an outsider, and also the Mahindra dedication to the project, where they provided, I believe, 8 vehicles almost a year ahead of the release to the Harman team so that the tuning could be done with precision, and I think the result really is a premium audio system. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming over all the way from the US. Thank you so much, Richard King. And thank you so much, Craig. All the best. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. So that brings, to put everything together, the Dolby AV. Dolby AV, please.
Introducing Dolby Atmos in Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs. Experience immersive sound that moves all around you. Traditionally, sound has only come from the left and right. With Dolby Atmos, sound comes alive, bringing you closer to the entertainment you love with more clarity, depth, and detail than ever before. Transform your drive with Dolby Atmos.
Unlimit India for the music experience with the 6e and 9e and much more. I invite Vijay and Riti to take it forward further, please.
Okay. Thank you, Velu-san. Thank you so much for setting the stage with the engineering brilliance that underpins these electric SUVs. You know, with Inglo as the foundation and Maya as the brain, we aren't just a step ahead, but light years, setting some benchmarks which the luxury cars too would envy. Now, Vijay and I are here to bring this story to life as we walk you through 10 hero features. Features that don't just change the way you drive, but they change the way you experience the world around you. All right, let's start with our showstopper. A breathtaking 43-inch spectacle that transforms the dashboard from functional to phenomenal. It's not just a dashboard, I would say this is a digital masterpiece. And here's a cool part. So there are basically 4 ways to interact with our car. There's, of course, the 3 screens, plus there's a physical joystick with buttons. We call it the in-touch knob. There are the buttons around the steering wheels, and there is Alexa voice commands. But right now, we're just going to focus on what these 3 screens can do. So, starting with the leftmost, it's the passenger screen, and I would like to call it as your mini entertainment hub, because this one's for you lucky passengers, no more boring trips. You can live stream movies, you can play games, or even hop on to an office call, office video call. And for those at the rear seats, we've got you covered as well with the BYOD, bring your own device, in-car experience. So just simply dock your tablet or your phone at the back seat attachment, and you can either watch your own content or you can mirror what's there on the PID. So apart from that, you also have all your controls of the vehicles right on your device, so that you don't have to take help of the front passengers again and again. Plus, if you want cinema on the move, you can just you can turn on the theater mode, and it syncs all the 5 screens, the 3 in the front and the 2 BYOD. It turns into a cinematic experience where each one is watching the movie on their own screens while sharing the moment. The next is the center screen. Now, I like to call this as the tech superstar of the 3. Why? Because it's got everything in it. It's got entertainment, it's got vehicle settings, navigation, all right there. Plus, there is an omnipresent bottom bar that you're seeing. That's the vitals, the essentials, always there for you. So you don't have to search even the volume. It's always there. You don't have to search for turning the blower on, the changing the volume. It's always there. One tap. And want a personal touch? You can customize the widgets. These are basically widgets. You can, whatever frequently used one, you bring it forward. You can pin your favorite apps on the app drawer, just like you do it on the smartphone. So basically what we're trying to do exactly is to give you what you need right where you want it, and that makes the entire navigation very intuitive. And then there is the driver screen. Here the idea was to make life simple and crystal clear. You want speed, power, range, it's crystal clear. Want navigation guidance, you can have that as well on the cluster. You want ADAS views, you can have that too. Want some deeper dive, going geeky, you can check out all the trip analytics and stats. So it's there for, you know, the minimalist, simple view to the geeky ones, everything planned very well. It's sleek, it's smart, it's all about making your drive effortless. Okay, so now let's rev things up a bit. We covered this. Welcome to the BE.6e digital cockpit. This is where precision meets adrenaline. Why I say this? It's literally like you're stepping in a fighter jet with those bold designs. You see the bold cut steering. There's this nice edgy gear lever. There are magnetic key fob, the caps and switches. It's all very futuristic. It's meant for thrill seekers. And the same center screen and the driver screen we spoke of, it gives you total control all at your fingertips. So I wouldn't say this is just a car, this is your co-pilot for a ride of a lifetime. Speaking of control, meet Vision X. It's like future has finally arrived on the windshield, with all the vitals floating seamlessly in front of you, projected 10 meters ahead of you, as if on a 75-inch wide screen. This thing is really top of the notch. Speed, navigation cues, dynamic ADAS, Even lane change arrows appear crystal clear, all auto-adjusting as per your eye position through the camera input. So whether you are a tech geek who wants all the data or a simple minimal guy who just wants essentials, Vision X delivers. With laser sharp focus on the road, it gives you the right information right when you need it. This is meant for a safe, distraction-free, stress-free drive. Now, as you're cruising along, the entire glass roof comes to life. This, ladies and gentlemen, is first of a kind, dynamic, illuminated, infinity roof with 16 million colors. I call this a masterpiece. It syncs with speed and turns and transitions effortlessly between dual colors. This paired with the ambient lights from the dash and the door just transforms the entire cabin into a canvas of light and color, where you are kind of the artist holding the brush. I guess I had to cover this because this is definitely in my top 10 hero. But enough has been spoken, the experts have vouched for it. I think now it's time for you all to experience and hear it. So please do so after the presentation around the walk-around area. We have a special setup, the Mahindra Sonic Studio. But I would definitely want to mention the venue-scape, which you all heard, where we are bringing the most iconic grand operas in your car. It's like every beat, every note, every chord comes alive, turning your entire drive into this unforgettable concert on wheels. So let's just hear it. That was just a sneak peek. Now, imagine this. The car adapts to your every single mood. Whether it's an intimate moment with your partner or a sanctuary just to unwind after a long, tiring day, or a full-blown party on wheels, this car transforms at your command. Every detail in the car adapts to match the mood. The seats adjust, the climate aligns, the lights sync up, and the 3 screens join forces, creating an audiovisual symphony that's, I would say, nothing short of magical. It's more than a mode for us. It's more than a mood or a mode for us. I would want to say that this is basically a moment perfected. On that note, I would like to call Vijay to take us through the next 5 heroes. Thanks, Vijay.
I thought you had one more to cover. Thanks, Riti. Sorry, guys, I know it's been a little long, but please bear with us a little bit. We're going to do our best to try and speed it up for the remaining section. I also just want to call out again that Riti specifically mentioned about an area where we've got the vehicles parked for our media friends, so you all can go out and spend your time creating your content, and everyone doesn't just need to come up on stage for the vehicles that we will call for. So let me move to the next 5 hero features. The multi-drive modes, we have range, everyday, and race. Range is about the trade-off between the drive thrill and maximizing your range. So typical use case, going on the highway, maximizing your range. Second mode, everyday, which is a good balance between performance and range. And then is race, which is about experiencing the thrill of drive. Then you have the boost mode, which gives you the 10 seconds of boost, like the nitro, the thrill of the nitro boost in a racing car. So I want to quickly talk about the ADAS system. Enough covered, but I just want to call out that while, of course, no doubt, it is adapted for the Indian driving condition, with the iQCL latest Mobileye chip, I want to call out the feature in this, which is the first in the country, and that's the driver-initiated automated lane change. So if the vehicle in front of you is slower than your speed, it gives you the alert, and if you touch your turn indicator, the lane's being clear, it will automatically steer you to your next lane. Identity, cool feature. Of course, it does the job that when you feel tired or you're distracted, it nudges you and sends you the alert so that you are safe and in your lane. But the cool part, it's like the Digi Yatra. Customizes file of every owner, and when you get into the vehicle through facial recognition, it does all the settings as soon as you get into the vehicle. And of course, the fun part of it is it comes with filters, so you can have fun with the vehicle in terms of selfies that you create, and you can also, it is used as the camera for your Zoom call. Let's move to Secure 360. So it's like the 24/7 guardian for your vehicle. Can we just move to the next slide? I'm not able to move it here. Yeah, thanks. So even when you step away from the vehicle, it takes care and it secures the vehicle. It's out for you. All the 5 views, the 4 exterior and 1 interior, the cameras sort of play the role of a command center, and it sends you alerts and notifications that someone's getting close to your vehicle and sends you the alert to take, so that you're aware of what's happening around your vehicle. And the coolest one for me, Riti had her, the next one's mine. Love always finds a way. And that's about the auto park feature that we have in the vehicle. Tight spots, parallel park at the tap of the button. You can do this while sitting in the vehicle or outside the vehicle, and as you can see there, for 200 plus use cases of parking. And the one that I like the most is that it's not just pre-programmed. It even allows you to drag and find that spot, and as long as it's safe, it'll automatically park the vehicle. You can do it sitting in the vehicle, step out, use your key fob, and it'll automatically park it for you. Let me now pivot very quickly to our go-to-market. Couple of slides that I want to cover on that, couple of points. The first one we call Wonder on Wheels. So obviously it's not just about the product, but it's all about the experience that we want our customers to have with these products. We are putting in place a team of 500 experts who we have brought in from luxury and premium brands, who will provide our customers with the pre-purchase drive experience. It's going to be extremely immersive, as the product has to offer that it has to be an immersive drive experience. And hence we've got the right kind of people who will be able to provide that right experience to our customers. Not only that, even after you buy our products, for a seamless post-ownership experience, we've got on board 400 technical experts who will work very closely. The after-sales team and the MRV team, it's headed by a person who specializes or comes from a very, very strong technical background, who's worked in Germany with top tech and luxury brands and has over 2 decades of experience in the EV space. And he and his team will work very closely with Velu and me together to ensure that we have a rapid response to what we need to do at the marketplace. The third thing is over-the-air updates. So we're going to ensure that all the updates and the latest features are updated over the air so you have a hassle-free ownership experience. And between 2022, when we've been talking about the products, and now there are many, many inquiries that have come to us. So we will start some pre-purchase drive experiences starting middle of December, and then we will take it to our dealerships over a period of time, and we'll talk more about it in due course. I want to talk about charging because while we've put together a battery pack that's going to take care of range anxiety, a very, very important part today in the purchase decision of electric vehicles is about charging. So we are presenting to you charge.in, which is a dedicated vertical that we created within Mahindra & Mahindra. We put together a team of 350 dedicated people between Mahindra & Mahindra and the frontline solution providers of charging, put together 350 people. The objective is from the time you're a prospect till the time we deliver your vehicle, we will work to find charging solutions for you, whether at home or at office. And we are bringing in an industry first, what we call a relationship manager. So that one person is the go-to person to make sure that whether it is talking to the housing complex society members, whether it's about talking to the power company, whether it's talking about the installation, this one person takes care of your charging requirement. And then finally, when we talk about the timelines going forward, our go-to-market starts in a phased manner, later part of January 25. I'm just going to repeat that. Sorry, the mic's not picking it up. So the go-to-market starts in a phased manner in the latter part of January 2025, and deliveries will begin from end February to March 2025. And post this event, we are also planning a tech day for all our media friends on 7th and 8th of January. This is a tech day for you all to have a more immersive experience in terms of all the technology that Velu, Riti and I have spoken about, for you all to truly experience what it is. And not only that, also for you all to experience the world-class, state-of-the-art, dedicated manufacturing facility, which we've set up at Chakhand, including our battery manufacturing facility. So with that, let me now call upon Rajesh to take the proceedings further and conclude. Rajesh, over to you.
Hi, a late good evening to all of you. Thank you for staying with us this long duration, and for those of you who are tracking it, and thank you for those who are online. We have 500,000 people viewing this live cast. So, and thank you all who are online to stay with us through this long presentation, but it is a big story. And you will wonder why we have called this Unlimit India. Because we believe this is a story, and you've seen this unfold over the last 2 hours. It is a story of what India is now capable of. And which is why we've chosen to compare ourselves with 4 top global brands, which are luxury brands. And you've seen on almost every parameter of performance, we match or beat everyone in the world. And we really think this is something India as an industry not just automotive, have to be really, really proud and excited about, because this is what we believe is Unlimit India. This story has been about comparing with 4 top global luxury brands. But I'm sure the question that you're going to ask is that what you want to sell in India? Obviously, the answer is not. So let me now shift frames to saying what is the size of the opportunity that we are targeting. So I'm going to use terminology out of SIAM, which all of you are familiar with. And there's a category which we call UV1. UV1 category, we've excluded a couple of brands which are MPVs, but the size of that market is 44,000 vehicles a month. 50% of that sell the top 2 variants, which means the size of the top 2 variants in the UV1 industry is as high as 23,000 per month. And what is the on-road price of those vehicles? The on-road price of the top 2 variants, which is half the UV1 market, is what you see up there, 21.7 lakhs. Okay, so there is a reasonably large market with an on-road price of 21.7 lakhs. Now, I know you all are wondering whether we're going to announce the price today or not, and let that remain a suspense for a little bit more. And let me take you to what we call Pack 1 of BE.6e. And let's see the video of Pack 1 of BE.6e. So that's BE.6e Pack 1. That's what we're calling it. And these are the features of what we call BE.6e Pack 1. Now, this we believe is comparable with the top 2 variants of many of the existing brands in the UV1 category. You can see it's a fully loaded list. And obviously the question is, are we going to play a niche game or are we wanting to play a mainstream game? So today we're only going to talk about Pack 1. We will talk about the rest of the packs as we come closer to the date of launch. So let me get into announcing what we think will be the what we want the ex-showroom price to be of B6e Pack 1. So that is 18.9 lakhs B6e Pack 1. Now because I did an on-road comparison of 50% of the models of the universe of UV1, I must show you the likely on-road price. This is an indicative in Chennai price. Of course, the on-road price will vary. So you can see that the Pack 1 price on-road is actually below the average UV1 top 2 variants price. We believe we have a very competitive offering which will create a category. We've always said that this category is not about EV or not EV. This category is about creating a certain lifestyle. We believe we positioned Unlimit Love, technology, performance, and the right price, which we believe is going to create a completely new category in the Indian automotive space. UV2 and UV3 is the other segment. The relevant industry here is 42,000 per month. The top 2 variants in this industry are 18,000 per month, which is 45% of the relevant industry. The on-road price, weighted average, is 30.2 lakhs. Okay, so there is a very substantial industry at an on-road price of 30.2 lakhs. So let's take a look at the Pack 1 film for XEV.9e. So that's the feature list that we have for Pack 1 XEV.9e. You can see I'm not even trying to read the features because there are so many. We believe again our Pack 1 itself is extremely competitive. It really is comparable to many of the variants which we were talking about earlier. So let's take a look at what is the Pack 1 price of XEV.9e. The equivalent on-road indicative price in Chennai will be 23.59 lakhs. Of course, these are indicative. It will vary from market to market, and we have a bunch of qualifiers there. It will vary from market to market. We'll announce the pack 2 and the pack 3 prices as we come closer to the date of launch. So that, friends, was my last slide, and I'm going to hand it back to Velu to jump into the closing act. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh. It's electrifying. So may I request for the closing session, Rahul, Priya, Anish, and Vinod, Rajiv, and Nal to come up to the stage, please. Please. May I request the vehicles to come to the stage?
Social media is completely
Abas. May I request the leaders to come out of the cars and come over to the... Come over.
So we have here some of the leaders who've been part of this journey. They've driven in on stage the 4 cars for you. And we just want to thank all of you for the love and the support in really what's been a very, very exciting journey. So thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Rahul, stay.
Yeah.
Rahul and Rahul. Velu?
Yeah. Actually, the event does not end without a dance.
You also.
But do we dance? No. We ask the cars to dance because it's a software-defined vehicle. So the M dance, please. Yes.
M dance.
M dance? Yeah, start. Can you start the M dance, please?
तुझको जो मैं हो जाऊं पागल पागल तू चले
photo up.
देखूं तुझको जो मैं हो जाऊं पागल पागल तू चले जहां जहां पर दिल मेरा झुके वहां पर मुझसे ही मुझे चुराने वाले बूम बूम मेरे सीने की धड़कन को सुन मेरी सांसों को तेरी ही धुन दिल बोले बूम बूम दिल बोले बूम बूम देखूं तुझको जो मैं हो जाऊं पागल